So our manager Mikel Arteta has called this season a nightmare so far, and he is not wrong. But the big question is, what has to change for our season to look much better? Obviously, we have had a couple of issues: red cards, discipline, injuries as well, and then a general lack of form, I would say, for many of our players, especially when you think about the Sakas of this world, the Trossards of this world, the Kai Havertzes of this world, the chances that we are actually missing. So in this video, I have prepared 5 points that I think Arsenal needs to address. Mikel Arteta needs to change around 5 or 6 things for us to look a little bit better. And with Odegaard not playing for Norway, he's coming back to continue his rehabilitation with the Arsenal team. It looks much better. So let me know in the comment box below, what has been our biggest issue according to you this season so far, especially given the fact that we started off very well, beating Tottenham, beating Aston Villa. We did pick up a couple of decent points, but Arsenal have not won a game in their last 4 Premier League games, and that is a little bit scary. And to make it even worse, we have not won a game since the last international break. So is this international break going to be a little bit better, different? I mean, we have Manchester United coming up, Nottingham Forest are in form, they're also coming up. Are we going to be a much different side, a much better side? Hope we are. So the first point I want to say about our season and what has to change is, I think we need to get a goal scorer, and this will apply in January. I don't know what the budget is going to look like, but I remember Mikel Arteta was not given a very big budget last summer. And hear me out on this. Yes, we did spend money on Calafiori, we did spend money on Mikel Merino, but it was more on the basis of you sell, you buy. So literally, when you look at how much we spent, it was about the ability to sell propelled our ability to bring in players. I think we need, I don't think we need a blank check, but I think we need a check of around 150 million from Kroenke, or 200 million from Kroenke, and this is not on the basis of selling to buy. Arsenal need a goal scorer. And I really don't understand how we went into last summer, and our major agenda, our main priority was to get a goal scorer, and that could be reflected by, Arsenal's ambition earlier on in the window. The first player we wanted to sign was a goal scorer, and Benjamin Sesko, despite the fact that I don't believe in him, despite the fact that I'm one of the people who said don't bring him in at the Arsenal, Benjamin Sesko is so better than any of the goal scorers we've had at this club, like in the last 3-4 years. I mean, if you think about Kai Havertz, Sesko would be better. If you think about Gabriel Jesus, Sesko would be better. Edin Ketia, Sesko would be better. So Mikel Arteta went into the summer knowing that he needs that different profile up top. He looked at Sesko, he looked at Zaxi, he looked at Gyokerez, he looked at Isak, he looked at Vlahovic, he looked at a couple of players, and Osimhen, and we ended up with none. I never understood that decision. I never understood how things went from, Arsenal are very hot on this, striker prospect, to Arsenal will not sign a striker in the end. Because honestly, I don't think we were trying to sign Sesko because it was a market opportunity. Yes, it was a market opportunity, and that was one of the reasons why you were interested. But I think we were trying to sign Benjamin Sesko because Arsenal needed a proper goal scorer, and we were on the right track. Yes, we needed a scorer. Yes, we needed a guy that could take and patronize 1-2 chances and put them in the back of the net. That is not Kai Havertz, that is not Trossard, that is not Gabriel Jesus. So the one thing that has to change this season is we've got to increase the number of goals that we are scoring. Last season, yes, when we turned the corner, you saw what happened. Arsenal were defending very well, but we're also scoring a huge number of goals. 6 against West Ham, 5 against Crystal Palace, and a couple of other, and a couple of other games where we're unstoppable. I think 4 against Newcastle. Come this season, Mikel Arteta has become Jose Mourinho. He has decided to park the bus. He's decided to sit in shape and wait for teams, and then for us to catch teams on the break, and that has not worked. And I would say still, If you're a manager like Mikel Arteta and you've spent over £500 million clean money, £500 million on your squad, and it has worked, and you have had good players, Odegaard is in there, Rice is in there, why are you trying to park the bus? Why are you trying to become pragmatic all of a sudden? I'm not trying to say, open up and concede as many goals as you can. I'm trying to say that our strategy was working. So can we go back to scoring goals? One, we can do that by getting a striker in January. The couple of players available. I don't think Victor Gyokerez, I don't know. Do you think Gyokerez will be available? Because yes, you have Kai Havertz for now, but can January deliver a Victor Gyokerez? That would be difficult. But if we can't get a goal scorer in January, can we find a way of getting back in the goals? Can we find a way of scoring more goals? Otherwise, it is hurting us. Now, the second thing I thought about when I was thinking about what's to change in Arsenal's season, that is the manager's team selection. I think one of the angriest moments Arsenal fans have had this season was against Newcastle. Partey playing at right back while Ben White is sitting on the bench. Now, there is no question Mikel Arteta is trying to phase out Ben White out of the starting 11. He's trying to do that. And why? I will never understand it. This is my reasoning. I mean, Ben White started off slowly to his Arsenal career. So I would understand if he dropped him then. But he has persevered with him, he has kept him, he has nurtured him into one of the best right backs in European football right now. He's running past Saka, he's bringing in decent crosses, he's contributing to the goals, defensively he's becoming better, and all of a sudden, it's time to drop him. Like, what is going on in this manager's mind? Why are we failing at the basic and simplest of tasks? Because listen, for a manager like Mikel Arteta, just like he did last campaign towards the end, picking your best 11 is a must. It should be routine. Like, I know what Arsenal's best 11 is. Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Calafiori, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Havertz. That is our best 11. So when you tell me that Partey is going to play at right back, Ben White out of the team, Timber at left back, and then Martinelli in midfield, can we stop with the tinkering already? One of the things that have propelled Liverpool to where they are, despite the fact that they have a new manager, is the fact that he's playing his best 11. Gravenberch, I mean, no one thought that Gravenberch would be that good in kind of that 6, but he's been very good. And apart from that, Gravenberch, McAllister, and I think Curtis Jones in that midfield, and then Salah, Diaz, and whoever he chooses up top, and then the back four remains as solid and intact. So can we play our best 11? For Mikel Arteta, this is going to be very key. If you want to win games, if you want to be consistent, if you want to go on a run of 10 games unbeaten, 10 games just wins, then you've got to choose your best 11. No questions, no excuses. Next on my list is avoid Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling. I think what I'm trying to say here is, can we stop trying to push so hard for players that are not delivering? Can we stop trying to feed our egos? Can we stop trying to, see that the manager is trying to prove to everyone that he was right about Sterling, and he was right about Zinchenko, and he was right about Jesus. When they came in, Jesus and Zinchenko, the levels they raised, this club to, best I've ever seen. Best I've ever seen. Zinchenko bringing in this leadership mentality and winning mentality. Gabriel Jesus bringing in the energy on the field. It was crazy. But just like we did with Emil Smith-Rowe, just like we did with Eddie Nketiah, just like we have done with a couple of players, there are times when a team really goes beyond certain players. There are times when a project goes beyond and outgrows certain players. I think we have propelled our magnitude, and now we are bigger than Jesus, we are bigger than Zinchenko, and we're bigger than Sterling. Yes, you've worked with them. Yes, they're your guys. Yes, they are your old boys, and yes, they are not providing anything. I think we've got to speak about the facts here. They are not adding anything to this team, right? So can we stop? Can we stop this business of Arsenal are trailing by a goal to nil? Arsenal are looking for a goal, and then we introduce Jesus, and then we introduce Raheem Sterling. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying play them because they have justified their presence, whether be that in training or when you give them chances. I mean, if Ethan Nwaneri, a player who has proven that he has, he's ready and he's going to provide value whenever you bring him on, is not getting chances to start games, then Sterling should not step anywhere close to the squad, and so should Gabriel Jesus. This time in the season, December, January, February, March, this is not time to give players a chance. By now, the players that are going to be vital to our season have already highlighted themselves. It's going to be William Saliba again. It's going to be Odegaard again. It's going to be Saka again. It's going to be Havertz again. It's going to be Martinelli again. It's going to be Partey again. It's going to be Rice again. It's not going to be Gabriel Jesus. It's not going to be Alexander Zinchenko. And definitely, it is not going to be your Raheem Sterling. He was a panic buy. Stop justifying him. He will never be the Raheem Sterling at Manchester City. So, can we stop already? 4 is discipline. And with discipline, I don't know what went wrong. Like, none of you can explain why Arsenal are diabolical, and we have this diabolical disciplinary record. Because this is a team that was not picking up red cards. This is a team that was picking up yellow cards when necessary. And all of a sudden, red cards are a must. The manager was speaking about Arsenal have to adapt. And one of the things we have to improve is getting 11 players to finish off a game. Arsenal? Under Mikel Arteta? No. I'm watching a different team. I'm in a different universe. I'm watching BR football cartoon. It's not reality. So the first thing you've got to do is definitely work on the discipline of the players. Was it a lack of leadership? I don't know. I mean, the Trossard red card, the Declan Rice red card. Did we get another red card? Potentially, I don't know. Possibly yes, possibly no. We've got to work on getting our players to stop picking up these silly yellow cards. Let's work. Let's act like a high mentality, a high level team. And at times we say Manchester City this and that, but you find that City players most of the time, yes, at times they get away with it. There's no question about that. But at times of the time, sometimes the professionalism that they have and display in games is crucial. You can't be playing Brighton and you Declan Rice and you're getting a red card because your foot is in the way and you're leading the game, by the way. No. It's the same thing with Leandro Trossard. It's a cagey game. You're playing Manchester City. You're away from home. You're leading. Let it be. It's close to half time. So can we start? I mean, I'm going to re-echo the words of the manager and the sentiments of the manager. Can we start getting our players to finish off the 90 minutes? I'm sorry to say, but it had to be said. Someone had to say it. And finally, stop losing points from winning positions. This one pains me a lot. This one really, really pains me a lot. Like, there are things that I look into, I look at, and I'm like, where would we be? We are 9 points behind Liverpool, right? We dropped 2 points from a winning position against Liverpool. That's 2. 2 points against Man City from a winning position. That's 4. 2 points against Brighton from a winning position. That is 6. And 2 points against Chelsea from a winning position. That is 8. We have dropped 8 points from winning positions so far this season. We get those 8 points, add them up to our tally, and we are 1 point behind bloody Liverpool. 1 point behind bloody Liverpool. So I think the point I'm trying to put across here is that is that if you cannot protect leads, if you cannot lead games and win, there's no point in thinking that you're going to win the title. And I think this goes down to the manager as well. Like, we have a manager who thinks the moment we're leading 2-1 up, it's time to park the bus. It's time to close them out. No, go for a third. Go for a fourth. Yes, scoring goals is hard, but can we give teams a challenge, a real run for their money? Those are the things that I think have to change. Just in a nutshell, we need to score more goals. We need to pick our best team, and that goes to Mikel Arteta. Avoid players that are not working, Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling. Work on your discipline, and then protect our leads at all costs, right? At all costs.